3, 2, 1, blast off!
You've really got to stop doing that.
What?
Just cut it out every week. It's pointless.
The 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
But it gives you marks on the thing.
It doesn't give me any marks. I don't need marks.
We just listened to it.
I've been editing audio for 22 years.
I've been editing audio for... Hang on a sec, sorry. I've been editing audio for 22 years.
You need 2 fingers into that.
Do I?
Yeah.
He looks it up again.
You need 2 fingers and Humphrey's foot in it for that.
You've been editing audio since I was 8.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you've been editing audio before I was born. Yeah!
Okay.
Science.
Speaking of things that have been born,
Yeah.
you seem to have some bizarre growth on your face.
You're welcome. Yeah.
November.
Which is in the face on Humphreys.
Handlebar-tastic.
Yeah, we're
I have
going
to
for
say.
the 70s porn star handlebar motorbike trucker look.
Oh, it's impressive.
It's ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
It's really itchy.
Really?
And I have earned... Do you know what? You guys sport mows and beards quite a lot.
Neither of us sports moles at any point. We both
Okay.
sport beards regularly.
Can I just say this? Whether
True
it's
laziness.
Yeah. Utter laziness.
whether it's people saying, he's doing Movember, earned of respect for men's health, get your balls checked, get your ass checked, get yourself checked, don't get yourself checked, might be too late, go to the doctors and all that, get the message across. But when I was in a bar on Saturday night, actual night off, I walked up, busy bar, it was like as if a path was made, like Moses had parted the sea.
Mo.
Yeah. And barman just literally called me forward, what can I get you? Is
Sir.
it the same
What can I
as-
get you? Comma.
You got like
Sir,
priority
question
status.
mark.
Yeah. So it's either do I keep it and look ridiculous and use it for that once in a blue moon time that I go to the bar.
No.
Well, I mean,
It's very rare I buy
if
around.
you keep that, you will always get to the bar first in the Blue Oyster.
Speaking of the Blue Oyster, I met and interviewed Mike Winslow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, I've interviewed him before.
Respect.
He's
He's
kind of tiring.
No? Really?
He doesn't want to talk to you, he just wants to make
Yeah.
noises.
Is he like a child with ADD, kind of? Like
Yeah,
just hyper?
and also everything. He doesn't understand that microphones are sensitive and everything is just loud.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it like, is
Sorry
he,
about that,
is he
anybody
fun
listening.
for like 3.5
Oh, yeah,
minutes?
no,
He
totally.
did a 25-second burp for me, which was amazing.
Yeah, you go like do a helicopter, and he's like,
Really?
so now you're going okay, and then you just go get out of the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, Michael.
Now,
So, gents.
he did. I think he was a bit annoyed at me because I said I've always wanted to do noises like him growing up, and I did my pen. And he wasn't impressed because I don't think he can do it.
Totally, same thing. I did a TIE fighter for him, and he wasn't impressed at all.
Do your TIE Fighter.
See, and I'm aware of microphones, so I'm going to move it back.
Okay.
So this is
Well, I
Darth
need the
Vader
microphone
and his
close.
2 friends flying around after Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. Whoa, it's awesome.
I can't really make any noises.
You make enough noises, in fairness now.
Cars, lads! Let's talk about cars!
Yeah.
Cars! Are you ready for something?
What is it?
There's a bloke called Andre Wisdom.
Really?
No?
No.
Andre Wisdom's... Is that his name?
Go on, keep going. I mean, it's
Is
like,
his name
there's
Andre?
a bloke called Andre. Like, you've got to give me more information than that.
Andre Wisdom, yeah, he plays for Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's on loan. Oh no, he's a footballer. Anyway, he drove his Porsche into a river.
Oh, is that the person? I
Yeah.
did see his car in the river. What an idiot.
Like, he says because he didn't know the roads, and I'll show you a picture now of it, Dave. This is how he ended up in the actual river. I saw this on Joe.ie.
Oh, yeah.
Joe.ie, if you're on Joe.ie looking at the Andre Wisdom's Porsche in the river, you should also be checking out the Engine Room show. Wait a minute, if you're listening to the Engine Room show and you're hearing this, you already know that and you've already seen the Porsche. This is weird.
This is like Inception.
Oh,
It's like putting Google into Google.
It's got red caliber brakes on it. Nice.
What happens if you Google?
You break the internet, obviously.
Yeah, that little red light in that black box just stops blinking.
Oh.
Yeah. But
So,
like, how... I'm sorry, but like, how fast was he going that he came up with this story very panically? So I got lost and I ended up in a swamp.
He was probably in the forest
So-
doing other things.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Footballers,
Are
Go on.
stupid.
like many people in privileged positions who
Human
get paid
too.
a lot of money to do things when they're in the prime of their life, i.e. very young,
Yeah.
actors, singers,
DJs.
sports stars, whatever. These guys don't have the benefit of experience. Andre Wisdom is probably 18 or 19 years old. He's on 20 grand a week. He's doing fine for himself, and he has enough money to buy a Porsche Panamera to fit in with the lads. But Andre Wisdom has never taken an advanced driving class. He has probably gone from battered Nissan Micra to getting his professional contract and then getting a Porsche Panamera. So, you know, it's not as though these people are given the skills they need.
Intelligence injections.
Well, it's not even intelligence.
That's what you want to say.
No, I don't, because I know a lot of footballers who are clever, I know a lot of actors who are clever, and a lot of musicians who are clever, and whether they're successful or not. But when you have that many people with that much money buying powerful cars, things go wrong.
Darwinism.
Yeah, well, it is a little bit of Darwinism. You know, and some of the best drivers have some of the most spectacular crashes. It's not just foolish people, but there is a history of footballers, sports stars in general, taking a hypercar and ploughing it into the wall of a tunnel. You know, Ronaldo did that.
You turn off the vibration.
Don't turn off vibration. Put it on airplane mode.
Oh,
Cristiano Ronaldo crashed a Ferrari on the way to training into a wall in a tunnel. You know, he's not going to do it now because he's 28 or whatever. But he did it when he was like 22.
Kind of moves me along to the next question. Well set up, by the way. Nice fist bumpage. You just got a contract. You got scouted by the best football team in the world, who are
Scunthorpe United.
Thank you. Oh, I love their logo.
Scunny.
Go on to Scunny.
What's the first car you buy as a footballer? So you got to impress the lads and the ladies.
What car would
But
I
something
buy?
you need to be able to put your kit in. Or
Oh
do you actually get to bring kit, or do you just arrive in a suit and somebody brings you another suit? Is that the way it
no,
works?
no, you bring your own gear.
Surely, yeah, and surely you arrive in a car that's going to psych them out a little bit.
It's like who out?
Your players.
No,
Well,
you're
no,
arriving
it's
a
training.
You're having a bus. I mean, he's talking about training.
Okay.
Psych them out. It's not wrestling. When you arrive in the stadium in a 4x4.
Okay, well, the traditional mode of transport for footballers in Cheshire over the last
Range
decade
Rover Sport.
has been the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover itself, and of course the Bentley Continental.
Yeah.
I mean, they are without question the most
The
common.
GT.
Yeah. Now,
Which
what
I
happens?
think is underrated for what it is.
Underrated.
Maybe because it's because you see too many of them. I think we touched on this before, and they just don't look like they should do. Do you know what I mean? They don't look like they're worth
They're-
what they are.
They are now unimpressive.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think they aged very quickly.
Well, they were hugely expensive machines. They were hypercar money for luxury sports performance, which is
Yeah.
quite difficult to reason. You're paying what, 300 grand?
Nah, yeah.
No, you
yeah,
were
that
new
would've
enough.
been-
You were paying the guts of 300
yeah.
grand for a Bentley Continental.
Yeah, you get for about 65 now.
Yeah, no, it depends
Really?
on the year.
Yeah.
But
You?
no,
No.
but my point is, if you're paying 300 grand for a car, and like even at the height of whatever, if you paid it to a Ferrari, you paid it to a Lambo, you paid it to, okay, well, you wouldn't get a Pagani or anything like that, but the point is, you would get something utterly breathtaking.
Yeah,
That
but
is
the
pretty much a
Continental
collector's
GT
item.
for that money, when you can get something breathtaking for the same money, and the GT
Yeah.
just looks
No, you're right.
looks like a Citroen
That's what
Zara Coupe.
The thing is,
Wow.
a lot of people like that. A lot of people like the understated thing.
See, it's nice.
That's
I
why
know
they go
what
for an
he's-
awesome
I know
Aston
what he's
Martin
saying,
then.
though. I
And
know
to
what
be
he's saying.
fair,
Like,
that's why the likes of the Range Rover has been so popular, because
Yeah, but the Range
Range
Rover
Rover
is a
is-
different kettle of fish.
No,
That's
but
more luxury and
the new one
luxurious
is a
and more
lot
capable.
more luxurious.
like that has other qualities to it, that it's also like an end of the world machine. You can survive in it.
well,
off-road if
I
needed.
wouldn't want to be in the end,
I
at the end
wouldn't-
of the world. I might be in the end of the world in
I-
the Defender, but I wouldn't want to be
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
end of the world in
Defender,
the freaking Land Rover.
No, especially not the last gen. They
No.
had
Yeah.
an awful lot of
Leaky
problems.
issues with it.
Well, you
Well,
know,
the air suspension.
air
was just
suspensions.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the world.
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting near the top of the mountain, but all of
We're
the
lopsided.
car is sitting on one wheel. No, look, I see what you're saying though, Coop, because if you're dealing with a car that's costing the same price as a semi-detached house costs now
Yeah.
in Dublin,
Prices are going up, by the way.
you would really want something. Well, no, you wouldn't. Some people do want, as Hump says, the understated thing. But I just think the rivals for that car at half the price is my issue. So CL600 is going to cost you 150 grand,
Yeah.
160 grand. That's the guts of half the price of the thing, and it's the same
Same
power,
size.
same size, does the same thing.
almost as luxurious.
Almost, yeah. You're probably getting a little bit more off the factory floor as opposed to the hand-built stuff you're going to get in the Bentley. But I mean, not to the point I think where it's worth having. I could have 2 CL600s. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that kind of brings it to the right, you're living in Liverpool and you have alright, you're living in Manchester
Either way.
and okay, you're living in
What happens
Chelsea.
is, Liverpool and Manchester and all the footballers in the Northwest
Yeah.
live in Cheshire. And then they travel.
Okay.
So they live
Right,
in
so-
Lancashire and
right,
Cheshire.
you're living
and
in Lancashire,
In
okay,
Cheshire,
and
yeah.
you have this amazing car, and you look completely out of place with everybody else.
Not in Cheshire.
I've been to Cheshire,
Seriously.
Tudor buildings, pretty beautiful actually.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Passed through once or twice, but
Yeah.
I know a guy
Mm.
who knows a guy,
Oh, yeah.
right? Who set up a company that sells bespoke, super luxury holidays. The cheapest holiday they sell is for 5 nights, and it's £35,000, and it goes up from there. Where did he put his office?
Cheshire.
Main Street, Cheshire. Why? Because
All the
people
fools
who
buy
live
these
there,
holidays.
footballers have 2 months off in the summertime, and they go, I want to go to the best resorts, I want to go to the best thing, I want a weekend away in Paris, I want a private jet, whatever. And they go, yes sir, no sir, here's a 50 grand holiday. And the lads go, that's a quarter of my wage package this week. That's fine.
Wow.
You know?
Has he got any competition?
Not in Cheshire.
I might go over.
you should
Give me something to do.
set that up.
Yeah.
So I mean, holiday companies, you talk to the lads in Budget and JWT and whoever else, and they're
Pizza! Anyone going to Zanti?
they're selling 5 nights right now for 199 in the sun.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
could do it 5 nights in the sun. Enter Room in the Sun. Nice.
That'll happen next year, don't worry.
And
But, like,
tour next year.
If I was a footballer and I was like, first go, I probably would. Maybe it's because I'm not 19 and I wouldn't buy a Ferrari. I would probably buy something a little bit more sensible and a little bit more. Hang on a sec. Why am I going to spend all this money because next week I could have a broken leg?
Well, here's something for you.
You know?
Interestingly, you will find now that footballers you'll find them driving cars they don't want to drive.
Because they're being paid to.
It's part of the contract with the club. So, for example, for years Audi was the club sponsor at Manchester United, which was obviously great because Wayne Rooney drove an RS6 event,
Nice.
put his kids in it, it was safe, and it could outperform a Ferrari. Everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
Now their sponsor is Chevrolet. So Chevrolet don't really do big giant luxury cars in the UK.
Yeah.
No.
So now all of the lads in Manchester United are required to have a Chevrolet of some description. And Paul Scholes, for example, who's now retired, who was there last season, he obviously could drive, and he's a very understated guy, but he could obviously drive whatever he wants. And he literally had whatever Chevrolet's minivan is. Because he just went, well, that's what the missus will drive. It was actually nicked out of his gaff. funnily
Really?
enough, yeah. They left his supercar, whatever he had. He had a
Easier
Bentley,
to
perhaps.
flog on one of them.
Yeah, and they nicked the thing.
Speaking of underrated cars, did you see that Mr. Bean Rowan Atkinson has now opted for a Skoda
Yeti.
Superb?
Superb.
Yeah, because didn't he write off his...
He rode off a McLaren F1.
Yeah.
That he's actually crashed it twice.
And to rebuild it is
And-
cost... Like, he's literally getting it rebuilt.
But it's done. It's back on the road.
But
Yeah,
that's the
it's
second
about
time.
£1 million quid
Yeah.
cost to put the whole thing back to the way it was again. It's
That-
the second time he's crashed it.
You're talking about footballers, like, with
Yeah.
their 250 grand a week.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much he's caning it from Mr. Bean episodes?
Yeah.
The guy...
Even the cartoons, like...
Sorry, Mr. Bean, Blackadder as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Blackadder's
Yeah.
not shown in as many countries as Mr. Bean has no words.
Yeah.
It's shown
Yeah.
in every single country in the world that has television. You see Mr. Bean. Another thing which is very interesting to do with football and cars. For the first time that I can remember, Liverpool players and their arch rivals Manchester United players have appeared in an ad together for cars, which does not happen. It's not.
I haven't seen this ad.
Not an ad for the UK. It's an ad for. Actually, I think it might be an ad for the Far East, but it is with Chevrolet, because Chevrolet are the car sponsors of both Manchester United and Liverpool. Next season, 2014-2015, they will become the shirt sponsor of Manchester United in the biggest shirt sponsorship deal in the history of sport. But interestingly,
How much is the biggest shirt sponsorship deal in history
More
of
than
sport?
you and I will ever make.
I think now,
Well, that's why I'm
put me
asking.
on the
I'm
spot,
not
and
sure.
I genuinely,
Is it 10 million quid a year? Is it 100
Is it
million quid a
billions?
year?
I think,
Does it have to cover the cost of the player's annual salary?
No.
Oh.
but it is part of the commercial revenue of the club.
Yeah.
I think, top of my head, that it is more than £700 million
What?
Whoa.
for 5 years.
Holy.
I think it might actually be. I've got a billion in my head, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
it might be €1 billion or
Or
$1 billion.
dollars.
But I think it's about £700 million.
Very sharp intake of breath right
Now,
there.
and here's the thing. So the ad anyway. The ad featured. It was quite clever. They featured the heads of Liverpool players and the heads of Manchester United players, and they did that lighting thing where one side of their face was black and one whatever with
like
shadow.
George Michael's album.
Exactly. And then what they did was they shot the Liverpool player in the opposite way, so the other side of it. So then they could put the two faces together and make one face of Ryan Giggs and Steven Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand and
Like
Daniel
some
Sturridge
kind
or
of
whatever.
football hybrid mutant.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, I'll be honest with you. But it was very interesting, and I wonder when Chevrolet become the full-time shirt sponsor, will Manchester United want exclusivity and say, lads, you can't really be the car sponsor of our biggest rival, at least biggest emotional rival. You know what I mean? So. Also, both
Unless you're going to
companies
sabotage all of their cars.
both companies are owned, or both football clubs are owned by American owners. You see, so
Yeah.
hence the Chevrolet makes sense. Nike are Manchester United's sponsor as well. They have their shirts or whatever, but that deal might even be worth more. I
Really?
think. Yeah, like it's insane. And funnily enough, a lot of people
Yeah,
thought.
but like I'm sure they'd sell millions of like replica shirts and stuff, don't they?
Millions is not the word.
Like,
Yeah, billions probably. But the point is, interestingly, from a footballing point of view, Cristiano Ronaldo, is at Real Madrid. He came out at the start of last season, said he wasn't happy. Nothing in the meantime had happened at Real Madrid to make him happier. And then this summer, commercially, what's Nike's big problem? Cristiano Ronaldo is their number one star.
Lazy people.
What's Cristiano Ronaldo wear week in, week out?
Foosball boots.
An Adidas football shirt.
Oh,
Real Madrid.
right.
They pay him, I think, double what his salary at Real Madrid is, and every week he walks out. Can you can think of that in car terms? Imagine, like, paying somebody €20 million a year to be a Ford sponsor, and every single time there's a camera on him, he's in a Volkswagen car.
Yeah.
Like, it's that insane.
Yeah.
It's that, and it's even narrower.
They just sponsor him because does he wear the boots?
He wears their
I
boots.
suppose
And
I can see where that goes, because it's like as if I wore another pair of headphones except Sennheiser.
I also.
Yeah.
Well, I wear Bear Dynamics sometimes, but anyway, the
I
other,
couldn't do that,
the other, no, you couldn't
Ambassador,
exactly.
so, yeah.
But the thing is
I
though,
can't be an ambassador.
For Sennheiser headphones?
no, he's a consulate. You can't be an ambassador.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Did you get a CD on your reg plate?
Doesn't
No.
reference in a car.
I don't have a car.
He's
long
a
enough
walking
to
consulate.
put them on.
But so everybody was pointing to the fact that, well, Nike's commercial deal with Manchester United is going to mean that Ronaldo's going to go this summer because obviously it makes sense and they can have him in a United shirt. And the problem is United can't afford his wages and they can't break their wage structure to go bring him in and pay him twice what they're paying Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
But Nike can. So they could bring him in, pay him a basic salary, which includes,
I get
up
Nike
to,
to pony up the extra
and then
cash.
Nike pony the extra cash.
And would he get like travel expenses and like health and dental and stuff
They
covered?
get a couple of lunch vouchers, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
That's insane!
Yeah, but it didn't happen because Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, and that was the big draw for Ronaldo, and also Real Madrid ponied up lots more cash.
And speaking of sponsorship deals, how come Wrigley's never sponsored Alex Ferguson? Or did they ever approach him?
No, I don't think so.
You met Alex Ferguson, or you're at?
I didn't
thingy
meet
with
him last
Is
time.
it true that he's not really Scottish that he puts it on?
It's hugely true, yes.
Amazing.
He is in fact from...
Ain't that the truth?
He's from Fatima Mansions.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He's big in person.
He's not big in person, no.
He's 4'3". It's hilarious.
He's
They
not
use a
small.
GoPro camera with
but
a
I'll tell you
wide-angle
one
lens below
thing,
him.
he is intimidating.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him.
No, if you've ever been to Glasgow, you'll know
Yes.
that you don't really want to get on the wrong side of anybody in Glasgow. And he is one of those people. He's a working class Glasgow man who just has an air of authority and power and strength of him. I met him.
What does he drive while we're on the subject?
Again, he would
He's
drive
driven.
whatever has been the sponsor. He would have had an A8 while Audi were the sponsor. I don't know what he drive. Chevrolet only took over a little while ago.
Oh, because he's a chairman, isn't he?
He's a
now?
director, yeah.
Director.
When I met him, though, he did grab me by the scruff of the neck. like in an angry kind of over the top way. He was actually really excited because Gary Neville scored, and my seat was literally at the back of his head. The seat just above the dugout, the Manchester United dugout in Old Trafford. And when Gary Neville scored, he jumped up, he grabbed his assistant Rene Mullenstein, and then turned around because we were all cheering and grabbed me by the collar and shook me with joy.
There you go.
Best moment of my life.
Did you make it on TV with that?
No.
Any pictures?
I like
No.
that that's the
Did it
best.
ever
I like
happen?
that as a father of two, that is the best moment of your life.
Outshines the birth of my children by a mile, and I'll
Really?
tell them to their face with all
Anyway, lads,
um,
I know really very, very little about football.
But
so
hasn't that been an
that's-
interesting conversation about
That's-
football there
yeah.
for the last little while?
I
Yeah.
have no idea what we just spoke about.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the engine room this week.
There
wow.
you go.
Football,
Fancy
car,
that.
sponsorship, questions and answers.
One spot of news before we go.
Yeah.
The reason why we are also hideously late in recording this is because I kept you waiting, because I was just at come from the unveiling of the new Nissan Qashqai.
The second most popular car in Ireland, no, third most popular car in Ireland, am I not right? Because you told us this a few weeks back when you were doing it. That it
I'm going to
was
tell you a more interesting
Golf
fact about it.
Focus
Not
Qashqai.
about that, but about Nissan in general. In Norway, the best-selling car in Norway last month was the Nissan Leaf.
right.
It is the fourth best-selling car in Norway. Norwegians love lecky cars.
Okay.
But anyway, that's a whole other show. New Qashqai, what do you need to know about it? It's going to be pretty much the same price as the last one. Starts at 24,495. It really is actually much better looking than
Okay.
the last
Has it
one.
changed much shape?
It's the easiest way
Bit of
to
Duke?
describe it is it's sharper. It's not as quirky as the Duke.
Okay.
Sharper as in like
It's a bit more
angular.
angular.
Pacific rim sharper looking?
No, bit more angular. But
As in like
looks-
Mitsubishi angular?
no.
Ferrari angular?
No.
Give us something here to
As
go
in
with.
new-
Lamborghini,
Lamborghini.
Veneno.
As in new Nissan Qashqai angular.
Are you
not-
sponsored by Nissan
No.
Qashqai?
Just
no.
come from the launch, let him finish.
Nice interior. Going to be a range of engines. It's ridiculously good car in terms of how well it sells in Ireland. I've sold 20,000
I
since
think it's the third
07.
most popular selling car.
The thing is though, it did get like, this is its third shape, isn't it? Or a second?
Second shape.
They had an update.
So
Yeah.
it did have a facelift though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slight one.
This
Yeah.
is the second generation Nissan
Because
Qashqai.
well, at first like they were a beautiful looking car,
Yeah.
and then after its first kind of
Ah,
facelift,
yeah, you get used to it after a
yeah,
while.
but
Yeah,
then it got a bit kind of like, oh,
yeah. Anyway,
'Cause,
it's out. It's in theaters. Going to be doing round dealers next while.
So we won for once.
First deliveries will be mid-January. So there you go.
Well,
So,
and we just
Qashqai.
finish off by saying one of the most satisfying words in the English language, if you pronounce it this way. Nissan.
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 Told you.
Wow.
That's the Engine Room. Get us on Twitter at Engine Room Show, Facebook.com/Engine Room Show. We have our own website, theengineroomshow.com.
We also got Joe.ie giving us lots
Yeah.
of help.
Pushing Joe Dudley.
Hey, do you know what else? Let's just mix it up a little bit as well for all the Twitter people. You're at Stephen Cooper DJ.
With a V, yeah.
You're with a V. You're at Dave98FM.
Also with a V.
No,
And
just
I'm
at Dave 98, isn't it?
98FM.
Oh, really?
At Dave98FM.
Get with the program.
So I was-
With the numbers 98. And I'm Lord Humphreys. So there you go.
I
No
spelled
V.
Humphreys, 'cause everybody spells it wrong.
HUMPHREYS.
I know it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Okay, love you guys.
Bye.
Magnets.